rejection of that which is manufactured as consent, and the offering in its place of another set of understandings and imaginings of the given world and the made world. As Ronaldo Walcott reminds us, the struggle for and over meaning is real. These alchemy lectures make clear that a lecture is not a spectacle. It is a gathering. It is a communion. We meet here to make plans, to see a way, many ways to go on. Each of these manifestos speaks from the structural conditions under which we live and labor in order to address the crises that we are living through. Relation is an invitation to live. Joseph M. Pierce, Cherokee Nation, offers a, quote, manifesto as storying, end quote. Quote, a manifesto for multiplicity, for the vibrational possibilities of kinship, end quote. An invitation to join the work involved in the making and sustaining of relation and our mutual thriving. He ends in dancing. There are urgencies that move us to the work of care. Janaína Oliveira, Brazil, begins in the, quote, dancing, end quote. She then proceeds to elaborate a collective exercise of care as curation, where curation, quote, care, cultivation, healing, end quote, for a beautiful world, strives to, quote, reconstruct imaginaries so that death, violence, and oblivion are not automatically identified as places of belonging, end quote. There is an architecture to replace those militaristic and brutal imaginations. Phoebe Boswell, UK/Kenya, begins in 2020 with the terrors of COVID-19 and moves us through the failed imaginations of politicians and art world establishments to a proposition. What, quote, if we're lucky and brave, end quote, might then be the work of the artist. To, quote, make our own little worlds within our work, where we invite people in and hope that these worlds might somehow ignite something that moves us towards the belief in a new place, end quote. The kinds of violences enacted on Black life that are sometimes embraced as possibility must be abandoned. Saidiya Hartman, U.S., gives us a polemic and a satire that lays bare and skewers the brutal neoliberal logics that produce what the comedian Ryan Ken so aptly called, quote, diversity and inclusion war crimes, end quote, and what Saidiya names, quote, the gift of pragmatism, a profound tolerance of the unlivable, end quote. The subjunctive is a tense for living, and Cristina Rivera Garza, Mexico/US, offers us 15 theses where it is such a grammar. Quote, if we were to write a house, if a house were a communal pact, a collaborative belaboring, a form of direct action that required the time of others, their hands and lungs, their eyes, their hope, if a house were the opposite of war, end quote. And in the final thesis, quote, in the subjunctive, no one takes anyone's life, end quote. Words matter. As Tony Cade Bambara tells us, quote, words are to be taken seriously. I try to take seriously acts of language. Words set things in motion. I've seen them doing it. Words set up atmospheres, electrical fields, charges. I've felt them doing it. Words conjure. I try not to be careless about what I utter, write, sing. I'm careful about what I give voice to, end quote. The powerful address uncertainty with brutality. The powerful address dissent with brutality. The powerful address most everything with brutality. These 5 manifestos contend that the beautiful world is not a touristic world of consumption and extraction, but one that meets Dion Brand's understanding of beauty, that it is, quote, not uncomplicated. Beauty is the ability to see everything, to confront everything, end quote.